Ancient Rome's Military by Alexander Costas, Anthony Spielman, and Scott Walsh. Organization. The Romans had a very organized hierarchy. Part of the success of the Roman army has to do with its structure. Everyone had a specific role. Legions were large groups of soldiers. They were made up of 6,000 men. A contubernium is a tent group of 8 men. It is the smallest unit in the Roman army. The crest of the helmet consists of real plumes or real horsehair. This represents a soldier's rank. Training. The Roman army was the strongest, most well-trained army in the world in its day. Soldiers were trained to march in line and to stay in a compact unit. It was most important soldiers marched at speed. Often they marched 20 miles in 5 hours, carrying 80 pounds of equipment. Every recruit was forced to swim. Roman soldiers wore well-made leather sandals. They had studs on the bottom for extra traction. Soldiers were trained in handling weapons. They practiced with heavy dummy weapons. It was thought if a soldier could fight with twice the weight, they would be more effective in battle. Soldiers trained on their horses. When you had a horse in battle, you had an advantage over the enemy. Horses made the army faster and more efficient. Tactics. Soldiers packed in tight and covered their shields in front and on the top, creating a type of tortoiseshell for protection. The wedge formation is used to break the enemy's line and interrupt tactics. The skirmishing formation allowed soldiers to force their enemy in one-to-one battles. This was very effective when facing an armorless enemy. The orb was a defensive formation, formed in the shape of a circle, used when soldiers were separated from main army. The orb protected men on all sides. Military discipline kept soldiers fearful of their lives. Decimation was a form of military discipline used to punish large groups of soldiers. Soldiers would line up. Every 10th soldier would be put to death, either stoned or clubbed by the remaining soldiers. Rome's military equipment. Helmets protected the skull, had cheek plates, and a flare on the rear to protect the neck area. The first thing you noticed on a Roman soldier was his breastplate. It was the most glamorous piece of the Roman soldier's armor. It was used to protect vital organs. The scutum, light enough to be held in one hand, protects against enemy fire. It is also a great punching weapon. Gladiator arms. Armor worn from wrist to elbow for protection. Leg greaves protect the tibia from attack. Metal outside, felt padding inside, to protect from a blow. The gladius is a short sword used for stabbing enemies in the groin or the neck. A Roman spatha is a long sword with a triangular tip for point attacks. The pilum is a javelin with a barbed tip, which could pierce through enemy shields. The Romans invented the ballista, which is an early form of a cannon. The ballista could quickly and accurately be aimed at a specific target over 500 yards away.